Hey, what's up guys? Star Brother here. Welcome back to another in-depth analysis video. Now today, I have a guest star who's probably not going to be on camera for most of the video, but he will give his opinions towards the end of the analysis. We have T-Rex 2248.
Hey guys.
In today's episode, we will be switching gears from Star Trek to Star Wars. Yes, my first Star Wars in-depth analysis video. Today we'll be doing something special, and it took me a while to research, but we are doing the Executor class Star Dreadnought, or its unofficial class, the Executor class Super Star Destroyer. The manufacturer was, the Executor class was constructed at two different shipyards, at Kuwait Drive Yards or Fondor Shipyards. It is the line of the Star Dreadnoughts. A Dreadnought is considered a massive warship that could bring, the Executor has been known to bring the might of an entire fleet to the battle. One Executor can be enough to squash any hope of rebellion against the Empire. The model is the Executor class Star Dreadnought. Some technical specifications. It has a length of is a maximum length of 19,000 meters. Maximum acceleration of 1,230 magnitude, 40 mglt. Engine units, there is about 50 engine units, 13 massive ones, and then a ton of extra smaller ones. Hyperdrive rating for its main hyperdrive. Now the way you got to work about this is that most ships like this have two hyperdrives. A faster hyperdrive and a backup hyperdrive. Now the Executor had a class 2 hyperdrive, which wouldn't make it as fast as an X-Wing, but it definitely would be slow. It would be slower than an X-Wing, but faster than most other capital ships, especially like the Manticore class and the, heaven forbid, the Eclipse class. The Eclipse class was known to be a lot slower than the Executor. It has a backup class of 10, which makes it way faster than most other ships, because actually the Venator has a class 15, which makes it a backup class 15, which makes the backup class a lot slower. But backup classes are known to be slower since, as I said, they are backup classes. Power output, at peak reactor, it can do 77.73 times 10 to the 6th power watt output. For shields, it can do peak 3.8 times 26 to the 10 to the 26th power of watts of power, which means it can take a whole lot of damage before the shields even begin. I mean, this thing is massive. For shielding, it has a Kuwait Drive Yards shield reactor domes. If you notice on the Star Destroyer's bridge, there's its main command module, and then there's two domes. Those are Kuwait Drive Yard shield reactor domes. They're the shields. It is the hull is a titanium reinforced adjusted.
Yes.
The sensor systems have an advanced. We don't get an exact model of the advanced of these sensors, but we do know that the sensor systems aboard an Executor were some of the most advanced the Empire had. So there's some advanced sensoring systems and advanced sensor suites. Armament, let's just say this before I get into any details. The Executor class Superstar Destroyer was heavily armored. It was one of the most armored ships that the Empire could bring to bear. And you combine that with Star Destroyers, any hope of rebellion that the Rebel Alliance may have been able to bring forward is
going to get crushed.
Yeah, it's crushed, basically. Armament. This thing has 2,000. It's equipped with turbo laser cannons, about 2,000 turbo laser cannons, equipped in pre-lined in groups of 8. It also has now it supplements that with 2,000 heavy turbo laser cannons, pre-linked in groups of 8, just like the regulars. It also has assault concussion missile tubes, 250 assault concussion missile tubes with 30 missiles in each. It also has heavy ion cannons, 250 of those, pylon transport Q7 tractor beam projectors with an undisclosed number of those, and over 500 point defense laser cannons. Now, point defense is your anti-star fighter, and your turbo lasers is your anti-capital ship. It has a complement of over. It has a complement of over 2,000 TIE fighters. A standard Executor has about 100 to 175, but the Executor class can house up to about 2,000 Star Destroyers at most. It also has a complement of 30 AT-ATs, 40 AT-STs, 2 prefabricated garrison bases, various other assault transports, about 200 of those. Crew. A standard crew is about 279,144 officers, 1,590 gunners. A minimum crew of 50,000. It can house up to 38,000 troops. Cargo capacity is 250,000 metric tons. Supplies for 300,000 people. A cargo is loaded in the Bateway system. It has enough consumables for 6 years. Communication systems include a HoloNet transceiver. And those were special. Now, as you can see, the Executor class Super Star Destroyer had 3 main roles in the Empire. It was often used as a command ship. Many admirals and grand admirals would request an Executor class because they knew the Executor class could bring a lot of things to bear, and combined with the Star Destroyers that they get, they could most likely squash any rebellion, standard rebellion at least, that they could bring around. It has also been known, some of them, including the Reaper and the Night Terror, and some Star Destroyers, Executor classes, like the Reaper and Night Terror, were carriers for certain experimental TIE fighters. Like, one example is the Reaper. Now, the Reaper was outfitted with a experimental cloaking device. However, since the cloaking device technology took so much credit, not even the Galactic Empire could surplus that amount of credits. So only the Reaper was outfitted with this cloaking, and the Reaper was actually outfitted with the experimental TIE Phantoms. So the TIE Phantoms would be aboard the Reaper. So that it acts as a carrier to them. It also acts, and is one of its most formidable modes, a battleship. Now, being a battleship in Star Wars is a very loose term, but I can safely say that the Executor is considered, yes, a battleship. It was the first Executor, which was the Darth Vader's flagship, the Executor, was commissioned about 3 BBY. Now, BBY stands for Before the Battle of Yavin, the crucial battle where the Death Star was destroyed.
Well, as I call it, before battle, Death Star blowing up.
Yeah, before the battle of the Death Star being blown up. Eras. It served in 4 eras. The Rise of the Empire era, the Rebellion era, the New Republic era, and the New Jedi Order. Affiliations. Now, it had affiliations with a lot of factions took advantage of this. The Galactic Empire, of course, they were the ones who commissioned them at first. The parent Home Defense Corps, which is a home defense fleet. Imperial Remnant, Imperial Admirals, Breakaway Warlords. Now, the Breakaway Warlords is something that definitely it confuses a lot of people. You see, much to contrary belief that, it always says that, yes, after the Battle of Endor, everything was all happy. No. What happened after the Battle of Endor was that now that the Emperor is dead and gone, all these Imperial warlords and Grand Admirals now are free. They can take what ships they have and begin to create massive breakaway empires, including the Greater Maldrude, Warlord Zinj's territory, the Imperial Remnant, the Empire of Hand. And a lot of these had a lot of these warlords commanded their breakaway empires from the decks of Executor classes. The Imperial Remnant was a main one. The Imperial Remnant was the after the Galactic Concordians and the official end of the Empire. The Imperial Remnants held on to a couple Imperial Executor classes. Now, however, I did say that the good guys also after the rebellion, the good guys did get some. Ships like the Lusankia and a couple other Super Star Destroyers were given to the New Republic, and the New Republic's later in consideration, the Galactic Federation of Free Alliances, which was the New Republic's later after the Yuzong Vong completely decimated Coruscant and destroyed the New Republic. Some notable ships of the class, the Guardian was one of them. The Guardian was actually the longest Super Star Destroyer to ever be, it was the longest Super Star Destroyer to remain in service. It served the Galactic Empire, it served the Rebellion, and it fought in the Yuzong Vong War, and later would join the Galactic Federation of Free Alliances. The Iron Fist, which was another one that had another warlord. The Night Hammer, which was, I think, a Super Star Destroyer that had experimental TIE fighters. There's Vengeance. There's, of course, the ship that is named after, the Executor. Now, let's talk about the Executor for a bit. Oh, yeah, just let you know this will be a two-parter. In the second part, we'll have T-Rex come in and give his overall opinions, and I'll give my overall opinions of the ship. So the Executor was Darth Vader's personal flagship. No Executor has been more famous than the Executor. It served at it was Darth Vader's flagship, and it served at the head of the Night Hammer Squad of the Black Fleet. And of course, no ship is never alone. The Lusankia is another ship of the class. The Lusankia was the Executor's sister ship. The Lusankia would serve the Galactic Empire, but the Lusankia actually served a different purpose for much of its career. It actually was buried under Coruscant. You see, the Lusankia was buried under Coruscant to be Emperor Palpatine's emergency evacuation plan. Now, during the era, as the New Republic was trying to establish itself, a rogue Imperial warlord actually lifted Lusankia off the ground and killed millions. It killed millions of people. It actually acted as a prison for a while. It actually served as a Imperial warlord's personal prison until the New Republic came and they had to rise it. Eventually, the New Republic got a hold of the Lusankia. And along with the Guardian and a couple other Executors, the Lusankia went on to serve the Republic. However, it's not all happy ending for the Lusankia, unfortunately. And I'll get into more of the Lusankia's history in part 2 of the Executor's in-depth analysis. Thank you all for watching part 1. I hope you all enjoyed it. And remember, part 2 will feature T-Rex on screen. And I will see you all in the next video. Have a great night.